Welcome back to another training. You guys can see from this title of the video that identity stack and how to speak to yourself correctly. And we're going to be going over the word problem, why words have always mattered, the 4 areas of self-talk, the identity stack, the 5 layers of change, your daily protocol, protecting your state, your reviews, and your action plans. The goal is simple. By the end of this, you will understand that self-talk is not just about saying positive words. It is about calming your body, changing your state, connecting to your identity, and then speaking from that place. Because when your words match your body, your emotions, and your identity, they stop feeling fake. They start becoming real, okay? The word problem. The way you speak to yourself shapes your reality. Most people hear that and think it sounds nice, but they do not really take it seriously. They think the voice in their head is harmless. They think it does not matter if they keep saying things like, I can't do this, I always mess up, or nothing ever works out for me. But your brain is always listening. Every time you speak negatively about yourself, your mind takes it as an instruction. Every time you repeat a limited thought, your brain starts looking for evidence to prove it. If you keep telling yourself you are lazy, your brain will find proof that you are lazy. If you keep telling yourself you are unlucky, your brain will find proof that you are unlucky. If you keep telling yourself you always fail, your brain will start noticing every failure and ignoring every moment where you actually did better. This is why self-talk matters. It is not because words are magic. It is because words direct your attention. Words shape the story you believe, and once you believe a story long enough, it starts becoming your identity. But here is where most people get it wrong. They think the solution is just say the opposite. So instead of saying I'm broke, they say I'm rich. Instead of saying I am insecure, they say I am confident. Instead of saying I am stressed, they say I am calm. And for some people that might help a little, but for most it feels fake. The reason it feels fake is because the words are not connecting to anything deeper. Your mouth is saying one thing, but your body is saying something else. Your mouth says, I am confident, but your chest feels tight. Your mouth says, I am calm, but your breathing is shallow. Your mouth says, I trust myself, but deep down, you know you keep breaking promises to yourself. And your subconscious can feel that gap. Your subconscious does not only listen to the sentence, it listens to the whole signal. It listens to your breathing, your posture, your emotion, your nervous system, and your belief about yourself. So if the words do not match the deeper signals, the words do not land. This is the real word problem. The problem is not just what you say. The problem is where the words are coming from. Why words have always mattered. For thousands of years, people understood that words had power. Different cultures, religions, and spiritual traditions all talk about this in their own way. They saw words as something creative, not just something you say and forget about it. In the Bible, creation begins with the words, God says, let there be light. In Christianity and Islam, it's completely different. In Hinduism, it's completely different. Whether someone looks at that religiously, spiritually, or symbolically, the message is clear. Words are not meaningless. Words carry direction. Words carry intentions, and words create movements. But there is something important that people forget. Ancient people did not just speak powerful words randomly. They prepared themselves first. They got quiet. They controlled their breathing. They cleared their mind. They entered the right state. Then they spoke. This is the part modern people skip. Today, people try to speak powerful words while their body is stressed. The mind is anxious and their emotions are all over the place. They try to say something positive while their whole system is still in fear. And your subconscious can feel the difference. Your subconscious does not only listen to the words, it listens to the whole signal. Your breathing, your posture, your emotions, your nervous system, what you actually believe about yourself. So if your mouth says one thing, but your body says another, your subconscious believes the body. This is why somebody can say, I am calm, but still feel anxious. This is why someone can say, I am confident, but still feel insecure. This is why someone can repeat affirmations for months and still feel like nothing is changing. The words are not landing because the foundation underneath them is not ready. Self-talk does not only happen when you are standing in the mirror saying affirmations. It happens all day. It happens in your thoughts, in your reactions, in your conversations, and in the stories you keep repeating about your life. The first area is your inner monologue. This is the voice inside your head. It is the constant stream of thoughts that run in the background every day. Most people never stop listening to it, but if they did, they would realize how negative it actually is. You might be saying things like, I'm behind, I always mess up, I can't do this, people never respect me, nothing works for me. And even if you do not say these things out loud, they still affect you. The inner monologue is programming you quietly. It is teaching your brain what to expect from yourself and from life. The second area is affirmation and declaration. These are the words you say out loud or write down about who you are becoming. The problem is that most people rush through them with no feeling. They say the words, but they do not believe in them. There is no emotion behind it. There is no identity behind it. One statement spoken with real presence is more powerful than 100 statements rushed with no relief or belief. The third area is your personal narrative. This is the story you keep telling about yourself. Maybe your story is, I always attract the wrong people. Maybe it is, I can never stay disciplined. Maybe it is, I always lose money. Maybe it is, I never finish what I start. Whatever story you keep repeating, your brain starts collecting evidence for it. That is why changing your story is so important, because when you change the story, you start changing the identity. And when you change that identity, your action starts changing too. The fourth area is your conversation with other people. This one matters more than people think. The words you speak around other people can either make your dream stronger or weaker. Not everybody deserves access to your vision. Some people will hear your dream and immediately make it smaller. Some people will hear your confidence and try to humble you. Some people will hear your goal and put fear into it. So be careful who you share with. Share your dreams with people who believe in growth, not people who are addicted to doubt. The identity stack. This is where everything starts to make sense. Most people try to change their words first, but words are not the foundation. Words are near the top. The identity stack is the order that creates your reality. The body, state, identity, language, and reality. This order matters. If your body is stressed, your emotional state will be low. If your emotional state is low, your identity will feel weak. If your identity feels weak, your words will feel fake. And if your words feel fake, they will not create much change. This is why you cannot just start with language. You cannot build strong words on top of a weak state. You have to start from the bottom. Your body comes first, then your state, then your identity, then your words, then your reality. When those layers are aligned, your words hits different. They do not feel forced, they feel real. You are not trying to convince yourself anymore. You are speaking from the person you are becoming. Layer one, the body. Your body is always talking to your brain. A lot of people think the brain controls everything, but the body sends messages to the brain too. When your breathing is shallow, your shoulders are tight, your jaw is clenched, and your chest feels heavy, your brain reads that as danger. Your brain thinks something is wrong, so it goes into protection mode. And when you are in protection mode, you are not open to change. You are not open to confidence. You are not open to new beliefs. You are just trying to survive. This is why trying to affirm yourself while stressed usually does not work. You are telling yourself, I am safe, but your body is saying, no, we are not. And the body usually wins. So before you speak to yourself, you have to calm the body first. You have to send your nervous system a signal that says, I am safe right now. A simple way to do that is through breathing. Take a deep breath through your nose, then take one small extra inhale at the top. Then exhale slowly for longer than you inhaled, and do that 3 to 5 times and then see what happens. The long exhale is the most important part because it tells your nervous system to calm down. It tells your body there is no immediate threat. After a few rounds, you may feel your shoulders drop, your chest may feel a little open, your mind may slow down. You may feel more present again. That is the first step. You are not trying to force a belief yet. You are preparing the body so the words can actually land. Layer 2, the emotional state. Once your body is calmer, now you want to enter a better emotional state. This matters because emotion is what makes words stick. A thought by itself is not always strong, but a thought with emotions behind it becomes powerful. This is why painful memories can stay with someone for years. It is not just because of what happened, it is because of the emotions attached to it. So if you want your self-talk to matter, it needs emotions behind it, not fake emotions. You need real hardcore emotions. One of the easiest emotions to use is gratitude. Put your hands on your chest, breathe slowly, and think about one thing you are truly grateful for, not something general, but something real. It could be your mother, your father, your health, one person who believes in you, a moment where you felt loved, the fact that you even woke up today. Do not just think about it, feel it. Let the feeling grow in your chest. Let it become real in your body. Even if it is small, that is okay. The goal is not to fake some huge emotion. The goal is to shift your state. Because when you feel gratitude, peace, love, or appreciation, your mind becomes more open, your body becomes more relaxed, your identity becomes easier to access. Layer 3, identity. Identity is who you believe you are deep down, not who you pretend to be, not who you wish you were, not who you post online. It is who you actually feel like you are. And this matters because you do not rise to the level of your words, you rise to the level of your identity. If deep down you see yourself as lazy, you will keep finding ways to act lazy. If deep down you see yourself as broke, you will keep making choices that match being broke. If deep down you see yourself as weak, you will keep avoiding hard things. Your identity is like a ceiling. You can try to go higher, but your identity is low. You will keep pulling yourself back down. This is why real change is not just about saying I want better. It is about becoming someone different, not fake different, but actually different. For example, do not just say, I want to be disciplined. Start becoming the kind of person who does what he says he is going to do. Do not just say, I want confidence. Start becoming the kind of person who keeps promises to himself. Do not just say, I want money. Start becoming the kind of person who respects times, learns skills, and makes better decisions. Identity is built through proof. Every time you do what you said you would do, you create proof. Every time you quit on yourself, you create proof as well. Your actions are votes for your identity. Waking up when you said you would wake up is a vote. Going to the gym when you do not feel like it is a vote. Staying quiet when you want to react is a vote. Doing the work when nobody is watching is a vote. Over time, those votes become your identity. Now, when you say I am disciplined, it does not feel fake anymore because you have evidence. When you say I trust myself, it does not feel fake anymore because you have proof that you are becoming someone who keeps promises to himself. That is when self-talk becomes powerful. Layer 4 is the language. Now, we finally get into words. But now you are not speaking from stress. You are not speaking from desperation. You are not speaking from fear. You are speaking from a calmer body, a better emotional state, and a stronger identity. This is why words feel different. You do not need 50 affirmation. You need one strong statement spoken with presence. Example, I am becoming the kind of man who keeps promises to himself. I trust myself because every day I am proving to myself. I do not speak weakness over my life anymore. I am calm, focused, and ready for what God has written for me. I am becoming more disciplined, one choice at a time. Those words are not the most important part. The feeling behind the words is what matters. Say it slowly. Let every word land. Do not rush it. Do not say it like you are trying to convince yourself. Say it like you are reminding yourself of the truth. That is the difference. When you speak from insecurity, you are begging the words to be true. When you speak from identity, you are declaring what is becoming true. After you say it, let it go. Do not keep checking if it worked. Do not repeat it nervously. Speak it, feel it, release it, then live in a way that matches it. Layer 5 is reality. Reality changes when your actions change. Your actions change when your identity changes. And your identity changes when your body, your state, your words, and your behavior start lining up. This is not magic. This is not about saying positive things and doing nothing. This is about alignment. The real chain looks like this. You speak better, then you think better, feel better, act better, and create better results. Words become real when your actions start matching them. If you say, I am disciplined, then your day has to show some level of discipline. If you say, I trust myself, then you have to stop breaking every promise you make to yourself. If you say, I am becoming better, then you have to make choices that prove you are becoming better. That is how reality starts changing. Not all at once, but slowly, one decision at a time. The brain filter. Your brain has a filter that decides what information matters to you. For example, when you buy a certain car, suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere. The car was always there, but now your brain sees it because it became important. The same thing happens with your identity. If you believe you always fail, your brain will look for proof that you fail. If you believe people have always disrespected you, your brain will look for proof of disrespect. If you believe there is no opportunities, your brain may ignore opportunities even when they are right in front of you. But when you start changing your identity, your brain starts looking for new proof. You start noticing small wins. You start noticing chances. You start noticing moments where the new version of you is showing up. This is why looking for confirmation matters. After you speak your declaration in the morning, go through the day looking for proof that your new identity is real. Maybe you did not react when you normally would. That is proof. Maybe you finished one task you normally avoid. That is proof. Maybe you caught a negative thought and changed it. That is proof. Maybe you walked away from a conversation that was pulling you down. That is proof. Small proof becomes strong belief. Strong belief becomes identity. The protocol. Now let's put all of this together. This is a simple daily protocol you can do every morning before you start your day. Step 1 is to reset your body. Take 3 to 5 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. Take one small extra inhale. Then exhale slowly. Make the exhale longer than the inhale. Let your body calm down. Step 2 is to enter the right state. Put your hands on your chest and think about one thing you are truly grateful for. Do not think about it. Feel it in your body. Step 3 is to connect to your identity. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Do not answer it from your old self. Answer from the version of you that you are building. Step 4 is to speak one declaration. Say one sentence slowly and clearly. Do not rush it. Feel every single word. Step 5 is to protect it during the day. Your morning practice means nothing if you spend the rest of the day destroying yourself with words. That means you cannot say, I am disciplined in the morning and then call yourself lazy all day. You cannot say, I trust myself and then keep calling yourself stupid. You cannot say, I am calm and then give your energy to every argument, comment, and distractions. You have to protect your state. Now, about protecting your state. Protecting your state means watching yourself talk throughout the day. It means catching yourself when you start speaking weakness over your life. It means pausing before you let one bad moment turn into a whole negative story. It also means being careful when you talk to someone about your dreams. Not everybody deserves access to your vision. Some people will hear your dream and make it smaller. Some people will hear your goal and put fear into it. Some people will hear your confidence and try to humble you because your growth makes them uncomfortable. So be careful who you share with. You do not have to tell everybody what you are building. You do not have to explain yourself to everybody. Sometimes the best thing you can do is stay quiet and start becoming what you want to be. You also have to protect your inputs. What you watch matters. What you listen to matters. What you scroll through matters. What you follow matters, because all of it is programming you. You cannot feed your mind fear, drama, lust, comparison, and negativity all day and then expect to feel powerful. Your mind is not separate from what you consume. This does not mean you have to be perfect. You do not have to become someone who never uses your phone or never watches anything entertaining, but you do have to become aware, because awareness is where change starts. Most people are not even aware of how they talk to themselves. They wake up, grab their phone, scroll, compare themselves, stress themselves out, and go throughout the day reacting to everything and then wonder why they feel weak. But when you start paying attention, you start taking your power back. You realize I do not have to believe every thought. You realize I do not have to speak every fear. You realize I do not have to keep repeating the same story about myself. And that is where the old identity starts losing power and rewriting your whole story. A lot of stories you tell yourself did not start today. Some of them came from the past. Some of them came from the childhood. Some came from failure. Some came from people who hurt you. Some came from mistakes you made and never forgave yourself for. Maybe somewhere along the way you start believing you are not enough. Maybe you start believing you always mess things up. Maybe you start believing people always leave. Maybe you started believing you are not the type of person who wins. After repeating the story for years, it started to feel normal. But just because a story feels normal does not mean it is true. Sometimes it only feels true because you repeated it for so long. This is why you have to be careful with the words I am. Whenever you say I am lazy, you are not just describing a moment. You are attaching weakness to your identity. When you say I am stupid, you're not just reacting to a mistake. You are turning a mistake into a definition. When you say I am broken, you are not just explaining pain. You are making pain your identity. You have to stop doing that. You can admit what happened without becoming what happened. You can admit you made a mistake without calling yourself a mistake. You can admit you are struggling without making struggle your whole identity. Instead of saying I am lazy, say I have been acting lazy, but I am changing that. Instead of saying I am a failure, say I failed at something, but I am learning from it. Instead of saying I cannot change, say I am already changing because I am aware of this. This is how you rewrite the old story. Not by lying to yourself, not by pretending everything is perfect, but by speaking in a way that gives you room to grow. The real battle is not just about what you say in the morning. The real battle is what you say when life hits you. It is easy to speak positive when everything is calm. It is easy to say I trust myself when nothing is testing you. It is easy to say I am disciplined when you feel motivated. But when your real identity shows up, when you are tired, when you are angry, when you mess up, when someone disrespects you, when you feel behind, when nobody is watching, that is when your old self tries to come back. That is when the old story says, see, nothing changed. That is when the old identity says you are still the same. This is when your mind tries to pull you back into the familiar version of yourself. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can agree with the old story, or you can interrupt it. You can say I always mess up, or you can say I'm learning how to handle this better. You can say I am lazy, or you can say I am becoming more disciplined, one choice at a time. You can say nothing works for me, or you can say I'm looking for the next right move. the small pauses matter. Because every time you interrupt the old thought, you weaken the old identity. And every time you choose a better response, you straighten the new one. This is how change happens, not in one huge moment, but in small moments repeated over and over again. So let's review everything. The way you speak to yourself shapes your life, but words only work when they come from the right place. Your body has to be calm, your emotional state has to be open, your identity has to feel real, then your words can actually land. The identity stack goes like this: your body, your state, identity, language, reality. Do not start at the top and wonder why nothing changes. Start at the foundation. Calm your body, shift your state. Connect to who you are becoming. Speak from what place, then act in a way that proves it. This is how self-talk becomes real. Actions. For the next 7 days, pay attention to the way you speak to yourself, not just when you feel good, but when you mess up, when you are tired, when someone disrespects you, when you feel behind, and when you are alone with your own thoughts. When you catch yourself speaking from fear, pause, take a breath, calm your body, then speak from the identity who you are becoming. Replace weak self-talk with better self-talk. Instead of saying, I always mess up, say, I am learning how to handle this better. Instead of saying, I am lazy, say, I am becoming more disciplined, one choice at a time. Instead of saying, nothing works for me, say, I am looking for the next right move. Instead of saying, I can't change, say, I am already changing by noticing this. Instead of saying, this is who I am, say, this is who I used to be, but I am building something different. At the end of the day, write down one piece of proof that the new version of you showed up. It does not have to be huge, it just has to be real. Maybe you kept one small promise. Maybe you stayed calm when you wanted to react. Maybe you finished one thing you actually avoided. Maybe you spoke to yourself with more respect. Maybe you caught one negative thought before it became a whole story. Write it down, because small proof becomes strong belief, and strong belief becomes identity. Your words are not just words. They are instructions. They tell your brain what to look for. They tell your body what to feel. They tell your identity what to become. So be careful what you keep telling yourself. If you keep speaking from the old version of you, you will keep living from the old version of you. But if you start calming your body, shifting your state, connected to your new identity, speaking from that place, your life will slowly start changing. Not overnight, not magically, but honestly. One thought at a time, one word at a time, one reaction at a time. That is how you speak to yourself correctly. This is how words become real. And that is how you stop being controlled by the old story, because your life is always listening.